everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen, and as this little highlight is showing you right here, I'm going to be showing you how to cover a cake dummy with fondant. And if you do need any tools or supplies you see me using, just check the link in the description below. It'll take you to my website, should be able to help you out. So, okay, here we go. It's going to be quick and easy. Cake dummies, I love them, first of all. They're used oftentimes in store displays and the windows and that kind of thing. When you see a cake that mysteriously just sits there for weeks and weeks and weeks, they're using dummies. All right, when I use a cake dummy, I like to cover it in a little bit of Crisco or vegetable shortening first. If you were to try to stick fondant directly onto a styrofoam cake dummy, it's just not going to stick as well. It just has really nothing to cling to because the styrofoam is so dry and fondant typically isn't very moist or adhesive to begin with. So I just go over the whole thing, except for the bottom, a little bit of Crisco, and then treat it like you would, any other cake. You do have to make sure you get it all along the bottom, so I'm just turning it around here to make sure I didn't miss anything. Just give it a few more swipes. You don't need a lot either, so just a very thin coating, and then it's ready to go. Now, just like before, I'm going to add a little bit of Crisco to my countertop before I roll out my fondant. Some people use powdered sugar. Some people like to sprinkle cornstarch, whatever you are comfortable working with, layer your counter down. I'm going to roll out just some white fondant here, just like normal. Going to have it nice and thin, maybe about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or so thick when it's all said and done. And when I have it at the right size, I'm just going to carefully fold it over my rolling pin, drag my little cake dummy over here, and then roll it over and lay it over the top, just like you would with any other cake you've ever done. Now, just like before, in order to finish smoothing it out and preparing it, I did have to rearrange it a little bit there. But you just spread down gently on the sides. So I'm just kind of rubbing with the side of my hand. I like to try to flare out the bottom a little bit because I find it helps to avoid all those little nasty wrinkles and folds that can occur. So I just pull it out a little bit, press down with my hands. You're going to feel when it catches with the Crisco or the vegetable shortening that you put onto your cake dummy. And you'll feel it stick, so you know you've got it nice and smooth and stuck on there. And just like any other cake, go all around it carefully. You can see I kind of pressed hard in the top there. I made a couple little dimples. I didn't care because this was going to be the bottom of a 3-tiered cake, so I knew it was going to be covered. If this was just going to be a single cake for display or anything like that, you'd have to be much more careful about pressing down on the top. Maybe use a fondant paddle or something to hold it in place because it is so lightweight. It scoots all around if you're not keeping it good and anchored. So I'm using a pizza cutter to just carefully roll it around, trim off the extra, move it out of the way. And then you're going to get a fondant paddle and just start smoothing down the edges. You can see the very edge at the bottom is a little bit rough where my pizza cutter didn't make the most perfectly smooth edge, so I'm just using the flat side of the fondant paddle and just smoothing it all out. Yeah, that's it. And again, if you're going to have to show the top, you might not want to press your hand down on it like I am. Get another fondant paddle, press it down there, just something flat that'll distribute your weight evenly. I'm going to just smooth out the top a little bit because it does bother me. And you can see it's kind of scooting a little bit. But there you go. It's lightweight, it's portable, it's covered. I'm going to stick it on my cake plate using a little bit of tape. I'm just taking some packaging tape, rolling it up into some circles. You know what I mean when you roll it up into those little wads. Stick it on there, and then it will help the styrofoam stay on the plate and not scoot around or get lost. So once you get your cake on your plate, smooth out the top, give it any little final touches you need to clean up the edges, and that's it. You've got your cake dummy set up with fondant, ready to be decorated. So I hope you found this little video helpful. Please like and subscribe because it really does help me out as well. Check out my many other videos. I got a lot out there in all different categories and themes, so take a look. And as always, thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.